Hello, I'm the official name raider, and today we're going to look at the Squirtle line of evolutions and judge what you guys have decided to come up with. Okay, so Bowser could work, but there's literally a Pokemon that looks exactly like Bowser, which is Turtonator, so it kind of makes this obsolete, and considering this was before Turtonator existed, you know, it's forgiven, but I probably wouldn't use Bowser. Tsunami, that's... Firstly, why the hell do you feel the need to say the Japanese name for Harbor Wave? If you don't know what the hell a tsunami is, get off my internet. You shouldn't have to explain something that is also an English thing and is a natural disaster and happens in the real world. You stupid. But regardless, Tsunami works. You can apply it to any sort of water type. It's a generic name, kind of like that. That's fine. But this guy's just an idiot for explaining that grass is green. Neptune is another one that you're going to see all the time and can be applied to any single water type Pokemon, period. It works, but it's not really special. Pacific actually kind of like... I'm not going to say it speaks to me, but it does feel like it could be a thing that could work as a nickname. I'm half and half on it, in the sense where it's like, yeah, maybe, but is it one where I look at that and say, yeah, I'm in love with it? No. But it is something that you could probably apply to just about any water type. This isn't one that I see suggested a lot, which is kind of why I'm making mention of it, because it's like, it's sort of unique and applicable, but I don't know, it's just not one I'm in love with, and I think it would be kind of cool if maybe you built it, especially if you wanted to do something like a full team and you just named them after each ocean, and then the Arctic one could be like a water and ice type like Lapras or something. Everybody's going to mention Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and every single one that's related to turtles. You're just going to have to get used to that. You can make a reference to the Ninja Turtles if you want. I don't particularly care for it or want to do it, but it is going to be a thing that someone out there has thought of and will suggest. Okay, finally, I was waiting because we keep scrolling past and, like, right here, there's Shell Shock, and the thing is, the one they use in the anime is Shell Shocker, so I didn't want to mention Shell Shock, despite the fact that we've literally scrolled past it 5 times already. But Shell Shocker, that like references the anime, and there's one you could use. I suppose if you want to use Shell Shock as well, those are going to be ones that are pretty easy and applicable to Blastoise, but it's also kind of like, I don't know how I would say as far as creativity. I mean, how creative can you be copying the anime, I guess? I don't know how I feel about Battleship, just because it's like, I don't know, it sort of works in the sense of the cannons on its back, but it sort of doesn't work in any other regard, period. So, I don't know, I kind of wanted to mention this one just because it's like, it's weird and it made me raise an eyebrow. Bubbles is going to be another one you're going to see for just about any other water type, period. It'll work, but it feels like something a 5-year-old would come up with. So, I personally would never use it or even recommend it, but you will see it a bunch. Yeah, Koopa Troopa, that one works as well. Not, or if you wanted to just call it Koopa, that it's fine, I suppose. Alright, despite the fact that I'm a huge James Bond fan, the idea of naming it after James Bond I feel is a little bit weird, primarily because it doesn't matter if Squirtle's entry is 007, it's going to evolve into 009. Jetstream is another one where it's kind of like Pacific, where it's applicable to just about any single water type, period. I don't see it all that often, and I'm unsure if it's one I would ever use. It's not one that I'm in love with, but it's one where I can look at and say, yeah, that's something, I guess. Typhoon, there's another one that could be used for any single water type, period. Leviathan, I see more commonly with Gyarados, but, I mean, that exists, I guess, if you want to do that. Alright, I'm only going to be on here just to acknowledge that in the last video, technically with Charizard, there was supposed to be Charizard Y along with Charizard X, and I only went over Charizard X. All of the ones for Charizard Y were also bad. I mean, Apollo is something, I suppose, you could use for Charizard, but that's it. And there's nothing here that is interesting to me or that I care about, so we're not even going to talk about it. I just wanted to acknowledge it while we were right here. Deadshot, actually, I'm kind of okay with, just because there's not going to be many instances of Pokemon and guns, I don't think, so this is probably the closest you're ever going to get to that, so I actually don't mind that one. That one's pretty okay. Blue balls is terrible, though. Absolutely 0 out of 10. What are you, 5? 5-year-olds don't know that joke. What are you, 12? Okay, so I can't read this, but I'm just gonna assume those 3 aren't exactly anything special. Shelly, that's another one you're gonna see all the fucking time. Get it? Har, har, har. It's got a shell. No. And then have been a whole bunch of shit like that. I've been seeing things like named after tanks, and if that's your dig, that's fine. I didn't acknowledge it because I just didn't care. But that's it. We've ended here. Deadshot was the best one I saw out of that list. We've clicked on everything, just proof of. We've looked through it. Not everything's been good. We're gonna end off with the spreadsheet. Never mind, nothing on this little list is good either. So, I know we have ended like the first 3 episodes saying, hey, I don't have any good recommendations, and that's because there just isn't any good nicknames for the first 3 Pokemon, apparently. No one's come up with anything that's actually good. But, the ones that... Here's one I have wrote down, and it's like I must have seen it and come close to the idea by reading something else, and that was Super Soaker. There's another example of, like, it'll only work with Blastoise because it'll fit the gun theme. So if you want to do that, you could. Other word, Shell Shocker for your little Pokemon the First movie reference if you want to do that. And then Deadshot was pretty okay. That's it. Those are the only 3 that really stood out to me and actually seemed like they were worth it. The rest, you could go ahead and apply to just about any sort of water type period, and it'll be fine. We've acknowledged that. But that's it. Bye.